eyes today are on the Telangana local body polls, which are being touted as a midterm referendum on Chief Minister Revanth Reddy. Counting is to begin at 8 a.m. across all designated counting centres. Section 163 of the Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita will be in force and around the counting centres as well. The elections were held on a party basis across 116 municipalities and 7 municipal corporations. Earlier, authorities deployed 29,656 booth-level officers across the state for the electoral roll revision process. Rohini Swami brings you more.
You've just had the municipal elections because there's also a stronghold of the BRS. There's a tough fight that we saw. It was called a dual fight of the Congress versus BRS, but now it's become a triangular fight with the BJP also coming in. So how are you rebuilding the party?
Telangana has always had a third force in the form of BJP. In fact, let me tell you this. In recently concluded panchayat polls, we won 40% of gram panchayats, which was a fantastic record because within 2 years, we were able to get 40% result, which in itself is quite commendable. Of course, Congress being the ruling party will get the top billing. Without a question, they'll be number one. Number two will be BRS. And I think BJP will be a distant third. There is no real triangle as such. Yes, BJP is also there, also ran. But definitely it's going to be a direct battle between Congress and BRS. And we are hopeful that we'll do really well. But people also, in their mind, know very clearly कि किस इलेक्शन में किसको वोट देना है. वैसे अगर देखेंगे आप तो पिछली बार जब म्युनिसिपल इलेक्शन हुआ, out of 143, we won 135 municipalities when we were in government. Congress had only won 4 or 5. But within 2 years, Congress came into government because of all the outlandish promises and lies they've peddled. So therefore, municipal elections, panchayati elections, or local body elections, as they're called, local government elections, I don't think they're representative of the mood of the people at large because these happen in local issues, caste and local candidate and their sympathy factors. Several things come into play. So what I would say is the real test is if the Chief Minister has poached about 10 of our MLAs, the Chief Minister really believes that his party is doing supremely well. Why doesn't he ask all 10 of them to resign and let's go to polls and let's see what people have to say.
All right, let's quickly go across to Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist who's joining me on the broadcast. So, Shekhar Iyer, you heard what is being said as far as BRS is concerned. Do you think that the Congress actually has an edge and the BRS is standing in a position to challenge that claim?
Well, there has been a pattern in Telangana. Whichever party is ruling the state definitely has an advantage by way of resources, as well as in kind of elaborate preparation and as well as one can say network. So therefore, there is no surprise, as Rama Rao himself conceded to your reporter, that they will be in the second position. Well, what is interesting is, out of 116 municipalities, municipalities rather, that is where BRS is hoping something, because in the 7 municipal corporations, which are very important, prestigious, like Karimnagar, Ramagundam, Mahbubnagar, Nalgonda, Mancherial, Kodagunda, these are places where, definitely Revanth Reddy will leave no efforts, unturned. But I think what is going to be more important, when end of the year or later part of the year, when the elections are held to the Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, already in a very, very clever political move, that corporation, Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, has been now split into 3 corporations.
True.
And that itself is being questioned by all the opposition parties, including MIM. And that is where the most prestigious fight, because the fight for the Hyderabad Municipal Corporation is seen as a kind of an indicator for the coming assembly elections,
right,
which are not very far away.
So I want to quickly bring in Rohini Swami, who's been very closely tracking these municipal polls. Rohini, you heard what Shekhar is also saying. It all is, right now the big talking point is about how there's been this trifurcation in Greater Hyderabad. Who's going to stand to benefit? They're saying that AIMIM will be emerging as the biggest beneficiary. But why is Greater Hyderabad right now in focus?
See, one thing you have to understand is that Greater Hyderabad is also a city corporation, which now we're looking at splitting possibly into 3 corporations. But these are elections that are being held in Telangana, also in the municipalities and corporations up away from Hyderabad as well. But it is crucial what our analysts just told us, that this will also be reflective of what we're going to see in other municipal corporations as well. But it is important to understand that why this election is so closely contested and why we're seeing such a high octane election. Now, on one hand, the BRS, which actually several of these corporations and municipalities were their stronghold. If you remember, K. Chandrasekhar Rao, who became the Chief Minister of Telangana when the state was formed in 2014, spearheaded the entire Telangana agitation, and then the BRS came into power for 10 years, for 2 terms. It is anti-incumbency that actually forced them out, and the Congress came to power. Now, it's a prestige issue for the Congress. It's also a report card for Revanth Reddy to know in terms of his 2 years of his governance, whether that has seeped in down to the grassroots levels. It is also very important for the Congress to win. Now, let me tell you what the BRS camp has been telling me, and so is the Congress camp. On one hand, the Congress has said that in this 116 municipalities and around 7 corporations, they're looking at between 80 to 90% of them people voting for the Congress. Now, the BRS, because it's been their stronghold, also are saying, we know what it has done. We have campaigned and said that the welfare schemes that the Congress came to power has not come to the people, and so the people still trust us. It is only anti-incumbency that pushed us out, but people continue to trust us. The third factor is the BJP. It is important to understand their role as well. It's a triangular fight in certain places, and they believe that they will get 30 to 40% also. Now, the AIMM is also a crucial factor, because there are certain districts where there are absolute strongholds, and this factor that we see in Hyderabad will definitely be seen, and overseas effect will also be seen in the other parts as well. So this quadrangle fight, triangular fight in certain areas. But I'll tell you quickly, Akanksha, of the coverage that I've done in elections earlier as well, this one has been nothing less than an assembly or a Lok Sabha election, and we're already seeing camps that are being formed. People have been moved, and people have to various resorts and hotels and kept so that they don't shift camps. Interestingly, we've been also told that some of them have even taken oath that they will not shift parties. So, it's quite interesting how this whole thing is panning out. The trends, very soon we'll understand how and where people have voted this time.
Absolutely. There's no denial. It's not just a triangular fight. It's a quadrilangular fight, as Rohini has been putting it. But PV Ramana also joins me on the broadcast, as I can see. Ramana, a very good morning to you. If you can also shed light on the role that the BJP is playing, a very interesting player over here. Exit polls are projecting that BJP is expected to show a very strong performance in northern Telangana. What are your sources and your research on ground telling you?
Yeah, as of now, we are getting the information is that most of the municipalities, definitely Congress will show its upper hand. As you mentioned, BJP will show strongness in the northern Telangana when it comes to Nizamabad district, United Nizamabad district, and as well as Karimnagar district. Karimnagar is the district belongs to the Union Minister Bandi. It's a Bandi Sanjay's own place, and of course, even Bandi Sanjay also started his career as a corporator in that particular municipality itself. From corporator to now he's a Union Minister. Now he's MP for Karimnagar. So in that case, it's a very strong hold. There are having strong hold on the Karimnagar as well as Nizamabad also. Nizamabad also in the recent parliament and parliament election, there is an MP belongs to BJP party, and some of the MLAs also won in the last election. So that in that case, as you said, northern Telangana is having some strong hold for BJP, and remaining districts when it comes to Warangal, Medak, Adilabad, these districts definitely Congress will be having the strong hold in these areas. And as of now, as you said, we have some exit poll expectations also. According to that, around 70 to 75 seats will be in the hands of Congress party, and 30 to 35 will be in the hands of what we call in the BRS, and some of the municipalities, 10 to 12 municipalities, and 2 municipal corporations will be in the hands of the BJP. So AIMM may show in some pockets of the Adilabad district, Nizamabad district, they may win in the 3-4 municipalities. So this is the entire scenario. Have to see how the results will project. The first result will be coming around 9:30 to 10 o'clock because this time they were used ballot papers. They have to sort it out the all ballot papers and accordingly they have to make the counting. They have to start the counting process. In these circumstances, now the situation is very crucial. All the parties is having their expectations on the win, and already BJP, BRS, and even the Congress candidates is in the camp politics. They went to the camps, and their what do we call it, the corporator and municipal council candidates with their municipal and corporator candidates. They went to the camp politics. So now situation, how to see, by evening we'll get complete picture on that.
Absolutely. We've seen a lot of politicking just ahead of today, because given that the creation of these three new civic bodies has become the big talking point, the BJP has questioned it, the BRS has questioned it, they're calling it unconstitutional. This is something that I'd like to take forward with Shekhar also. But quickly, let's also listen in to more political reactions coming in. In fact, Rohini had a conversation with Mahesh Kumar of the Telangana Congress. Let's also listen in to what he has to say.
What we're seeing in Telangana in terms of the municipal elections was nothing less than a fight like an assembly poll or even a Lok Sabha poll. It looks on the face of it like a triangular fight with the Congress, BRS and the BJP as well. But how do you see the chances of the Congress? Because a lot of these pockets were BRS fiefdoms.
No, BRS is totally wiped out in Telangana. We have seen in Sarpanch elections, they could not secure more than 5-10%. Even in ongoing municipal elections, so tomorrow counting is there. We are hopeful of getting 80 to 85% of the municipal results in our favor. Except in 5 to 10 municipalities, there is a fight. Otherwise, there is no fight in many of the municipalities. If suppose if a corporation or municipal wards are 30, in that 30, BRS may get 2 or 3 or BJP may get 2 or 3.
So are you saying anti-incumbency that you saw in 2023, will the similar kind of anti-incumbencies also there right down at the grassroots level?
No question of anti-incumbency as of now in the Telangana government.
In the ground level?
Ground level also. So people are happy with the welfare which we are giving. People are happy with the development which we are giving, health, education, sports, agriculture. The development which we are giving with the constraint of finance also, the people are happy. And welfare which we are giving in Telangana, no other state in the country is giving.
Right. So, Rohini, Shekhar and PV Ramana continue to stay with us. Before I come to Shekhar, Rohini, a very interesting point emerging out of that conversation you had with Mahesh, which is, I'm glad you actually raised the anti-incumbency factor in 2023, which seems to be on the ground level even now. And so the observation that I'm so far being able to make is that the BRS right now is also getting stiff competition from, say, the BJP. Your thoughts?
Well, they cannot sit back and say, well, we have been a stronghold, so people will vote for us. Definitely, it has to be closely contested. And they also brought out the big guns, right? The entire BRS top brass was on the ground day and night to ensure and try to speak to people and tell them that they need to continue to vote for them, even be at the Gram Panchayat level, or even at this municipal and corporation level. Because it is important to understand that these are also the swing factors for the state elections that take place. And they cannot be also for the fact that they realized that and they admit it as well on camera, that 2023 they were shunted out because of anti-incumbency.
Yes.
So that issue also will be closely monitored. But it will be the Congress that will be encashing on this fully, as well as the BJP. The BJP also brought in their big guns, if you remember.
Exactly what I'm saying. And what I can see from the numbers that are emerging out, Rohini, the numbers that are emerging out, I'm so sorry to interrupt you there. We can see that the BRS and the BJP are pretty much neck and neck at the moment.
Well, that's exactly what I was trying to tell you, that the BJP is trying to make a major impact because they are on a major high. They say that they also have been campaigning on the point that that they have been in power in the center, Telangana has seen enough. The alternative, the third alternative between after the Congress, you have seen what it is right now. You've seen the BRS for 10 years. The BJP is the alternative for people. What the centre will give will seep down right down to the panchayat level and to people right down. So there will be this not only a double engine, but will be a triple engine of sorts also for them here in Telangana. So that also is emerging as an alternative that they're looking at. So BJP is pushing themselves, and when we spoke to the state BJP president, he said they're looking at 30-40%, which is of almost sweeping these polls. So the point remains they're quite confident.
All right, stay with me. Let me quickly go across to Shekhar. Shekhar, so patient of you to be awaiting your turn. Now, I want to quickly bring you in on this chatter about the 3 civic bodies that have now been launched at the moment. The BJP is calling it unconstitutional. Many would want to ask, what was the need for this? Because given, there's also going to be a cost of it on the state exchequer when you're launching 3 civic bodies. What is one to make of this trifurcation? Was it even needed for Greater Hyderabad? Shekhar.
Akansha, we have to understand the political significance of this decision. You see, in 2007, the old Hyderabad Corporation was expanded into Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation. Now, this time what they have done is they have brought together 27, urban local bodies into this and created 3. And one is the core Hyderabad, which will remain the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation. Second is the Cyberabad Municipal Corporation. And third is the Malkajgiri Municipal Corporation.
Yes.
Now, and Revanth Reddy is calling it this as, basically Telangana Core Urban Region, TCUR, like our Delhi NCR. And Revanth Reddy is very closely connected to the real estate I would say the real estate business and trade. And he's largely doing this to boost the real estate impact of the Greater Hyderabad region by promising more people-centric and more better municipal services.
True.
That's a different question. See, what has happened is by creating 3 corporations, just as Sheila Dikshit did it in Delhi, she converted MCD into 3 just before the Delhi Assembly elections, though that did not help. So similarly here, Revanth Reddy feels when the Hyderabad elections are held, out of 3, at least if they win 2, they can claim that, Congress is going to win the next assembly election. There is a lot of political meaning rather than real improvement in terms of urban municipal services delivery.
I'm glad you actually brought out the example of Delhi under the Sheila Dikshit regime, but we'll have to see if the end result is the same or not. But it was a pleasure having you all on the broadcast as we now shift focus over to other news stories coming.